Hello everyone, my name is Marion with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Good evening. Welcome to DTM Real Talk. And yes, once again, we are very excited and I am ecstatic about my guest today. But before we begin, for those of you that don't know, I have 39 subscribers. And for all my subscribers, thank you so much. I have just completed my first book and the title is Determined to Discover Why God Wastes Nothing. Yes, determined to discover why. Where did that title come from? Well, as a child, I've always been very inquisitive about why this happened, why you gotta do this, why you gotta do that. Y'all got children like that? That was me. But anyway, I always wanted to know why something happened. And so my mom taught me to journal since I was about 10. And I have been journaling since I was about 10. So I have journals from 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. And I had no idea the journaling of my life episodes and stories and experiences would become a book until 2008. So it became a book and it took me 13 years to get it to you guys. And what is the book about? I know that's what you're asking. It is my life story of pain, the pain of bitterness, insecurity, rejection, betrayal, you name it, from the day I was born up until now. And finally, some victories, how I came to where I am today. And the objective is so that you can know that you're not alone, that we all go through what we call stuff. It's called life experiences. Because if you didn't go through nothing, then where are you going to go? If you're not going through anything, you're not growing. So if you're not growing, what's happening? You're dying. So I've been growing all these years, y'all. Yay! So anyway, determined to discover why, and God wastes nothing. So that's what the book is about. Not just pain and suffering, but it's about some victories, joy, and some genuine love. And hopefully, by you reading my story, it will shape you into becoming the amazing person that you are designed to be. Now, I am going to introduce my guest to you today. I am very excited and very super proud to have Mr. B with us today, which is my children's father. And as you all know, say hi, Mr. B.
Hello, everybody.
And as you all know, from my book, I was married 19 years, with Mr. B for 22 years and divorced 23 years. Like, how did that happen, right? Well, for the past 3 months, 90 days, for the past 90 days, we have been interviewing marriages. Mr. B, you've been checking it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been pretty interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been doing episodes on marriages, and how that came about was because a friend of mine said, well, Mary, you need to do something on marriages. I was like, why? I've been divorced for 23 years. And I thought about it, prayed about it, threw it out there, and 6 couples came forth and said, we'll talk about how we met, the challenges we went through, a few of them, and how we dealt with it, if we made it through or if we didn't. And so they came on, guys. So if you didn't get a chance to look at it, go back and check it out. We had the Clarks come in first, and they were Choice in a Moment, and the second time around. And then we had Kristen and Mark. They were right brain, left brain. They explained about how women think differently from men, and how men don't understand women and women don't understand men, but that's a necessity. We need to understand. So Mark and Christy did a fantastic job on that. Right brain, left brain, that's what we called it. So look it up on YouTube. And then we had Michelle and Jerome. They talked about It Takes Two. And then we had James and Evelyn, which is my cousins. he talked about blended families. So all you folks out there talking about thinking about getting married, guess what? The other person is the package that your guy or your gal comes with. So you can't change that. So they talked about the blended marriages, the divorce that they almost went through, and how they didn't go through it and they made it. So they did an incredible job as well. And lastly, Charles and Jackie took the icing off the cake and ate it, right? They talked about, well, they were opposites attract, and they talked about true love stays. And so today we're going to wrap it up with From Bondage to Freedom. And what we did, I want to share with you guys what my book is about. This is basically it, sort of kind of in a nutshell. And we're going to do our best to share with you from our hearts, and in hopes that you will take this information and apply it to your life. In fact, I want you to do it with us right now. But first of all, I'm gonna let Mr. B, I forgot to tell you this, just tell the people how we met. It's kind of funny. I'll let you tell it.
Yeah, that clock, I don't know if that clock got that much spring in it to wind back.
Look, I might have to cut him off because he kind of long. He long with it.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones in there. No. We met. It was strange. 3.5 years as an insurance agent. Miss B, by the way, we respect each other. She's Miss B, I'm Mr. B. That's the name that we agreed upon. And that's when you do things together in agreement. That's part of the growth. But she worked at National Gypsum in California, and I was an insurance agent.
He's calling the names of these places.
Well, you was a dirty sheetrock maker. You was all full of white stuff. Anyway, through one of my brothers, he gave me a challenge, and I said, I really am not ready for that. I'm not into that. I was trying to work, make money, and I was living what I thought was a good life, because back then I didn't have the fortunate life of being a child of God. So I'm in the streets, working 2 jobs, making good money. We met because she had surgery, because she was into the movie business, did photo shoots, Hollywood, and so forth. So I supported her in that. And she had to have a procedure done on her foot, which was done. I came back to give her an insurance policy to cover her coverage. And she was on crutches, living upstairs. And I didn't see the sense of that. You living by yourself upstairs on crutches, how you gonna get around, blah, blah, blah. So I was a manager of some apartments. And I said, I tell you what, I have a 1-bedroom, but I'll take the sofa, you take the bed. You can stay with me till you get on your feet. That worked out well. It really did. So I'm coming in from work and I'm pulling up and I'm smelling some food I ain't never smelled before, So I walk up the stairs to my apartment, I open up the door, and she got gravy, chicken, rice, vegetables, whatever. It's like, wow, of course I didn't expect it. But I'm gonna try to make this as short as I can because you already
I'm about to cut you off, but he's doing good. Go ahead.
Yeah. But we stayed together for a while, and eventually within a year, it came to me where if we can stay together, why couldn't we stay together the right way? Why not get married? So we did agree upon the marriage. She consulted her family in New Orleans, and I consulted mine in Cali. And in spite of what happened, it happened. And we journeyed the next year here to New Orleans. We hooked up the car and we traveled through the desert in the heat. When the license plate was odd and even and you couldn't get gas, we stayed one night. She slept laid on top of the car. She got bit up so bad, she pulled the wedding rings off and threw them in the desert unknowingly. I thought she figured, well, I'm gonna throw the rings away. I don't need this. Anyways, anyway, we made it to New Orleans, and I'm driving, meeting people, people waving. I don't know. I say, what's up? I didn't know New Orleans was that friendly where people greet you whether they know you or not. It's
Right.
not the kind of lifestyle that I had back at home. Nevertheless, we stayed married for years.
Okay,
Finally got her
that's
own
good.
first.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want him to go into what I got planned here. Okay.
Uh-uh, uh-uh.
But it's funny how it's really funny how when I asked the guy to tell how they met and the girl to tell how they met, it's always so different.
I guess so. We got different
Exactly,
memories.
exactly. But he got most of it right. He got most of it right. I
Yeah.
was I was trying to get paid for this coverage, this surgery I got. He was my crooked insurance man. That's how it was gonna be. But we didn't go through with it.
Nah, uh-uh. Didn't work.
But anyway, it didn't work. So yeah, but so it was good. It was good. So what I want to share with you guys is this. We're going to talk about like these 6 episodes that just happened. I want Mr. B to say 3 things. I actually called him the other day and I said, I want you to do me a favor. I said, can you write down 3 things that you really liked about me? And the first thing he said was, oh, that you're a child of God. I said, no, that came later. 3 things that you really liked about me. And he did. So tell the good folks those 3 things. And I did likewise. Tell the folks
Okay.
those 3 things.
Of course, she limited me to 3 because there was more than 3, but the 3 that stood out the most was that she was a great wife, she was a great mother. I'm sorry, she is a great mother and an awesome cook.
So
That's
that
number
was number
one.
1.
That's number 1. Number 2, when I did really get to know her, I was hypnotized by the way she sung in the choir at our church that we went to. She just had that gifted voice and she sung from her heart. And it was so good that the pastor gave her a nickname. He said, I want Precious Lord to come and sing this song for me before we close out. That's the name he gave her. And when she sung that song, whoo, I saw people in tears and oh my God, it was awesome. Never forget those moments. And the other thing that we, in our early marriage, we did almost everything together. When we in Cali, driving from Cali to New Orleans, getting to New Orleans and trying to develop before we had kids, we hung out at the lakefront. We took pictures. I was a photographer. We took a lot of pictures. We just went shopping for cars. We both everything we did together except my work. And
Awesome.
those are 3 things that really stood out to me.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm going to state the 3 things. I forgot to tell you guys, grab a pen, especially you couples. And I need y'all to write down 3 things that you like about each other. Write this down. It doesn't have to be married couples. It could be your friend. It could be your brother, your sister, your best friend. It could be, what are 3 things that you like about that individual? Because we're going somewhere today with this. Now, the 3 things that I like about Mr. B is that he's a good husband. He was a good husband. He is an incredible provider, bar none, incredible provider. And he had the funniest laugh ever. When this man laughed, everybody else laughed, not about what we're talking about, but about him laughing. And our 3rd and last child have the same laugh. Sometimes I take the boy to work today and I say, oh, you sound like your daddy laugh.
Yeah.
And so he had this funniest laugh. So I really like that. That was just 1. The second thing I like about him, is he was detailed and still is detailed about everything. Very thorough. Back in the early part of our marriages, there were things that I would miss because I moved so fast. And he would catch it. It didn't matter. Sometimes we get in my car, going someplace, you forgot this. This is not working. Or you need to do this. He was very detailed, extremely detailed. So we accented each other there, right? And the 3rd thing was that he embraced my family as if it was his own. Now that was deep for me because I'm from New Orleans and people outside of New Orleans didn't do that. In my opinion only, okay? So he did, he embraced my family as if it was his own. He fit right in. And I have to tell y'all it another day. Actually, it's in the book. Y'all read it. How my family christened him, at least my brothers. They initiated him into the family. It's crazy. Y'all gotta get it. It's in the book. It's in the book.
Oh, never forgot that.
Wait,
Oh,
wait. And he did that. And the last thing, that was number three. Number three was that he embraced my family as if they were his own, and we dressed alike. Everywhere we went, we dressed alike. Everywhere. If it wasn't pants, it was mainly just the top, the shirt. We dressed alike. So those are the three things that we liked about each other. Now, I hope you guys are writing, what three things did you like about each other? Okay. And we're going somewhere with this. And if you're really honest and open and you want to go from bondage to freedom, follow us along with this. Okay. Now, we want to share with you all what three things we did not like about each other. What three things we did not like about each other. And I'm going to start. What he didn't like about me is that I did not trust his leadership. I lost trust in his leadership. Why? Why did that happen? Was I not aware? Number two, I accused him of cheating. Did he? Did he not? Number three, he didn't like the fact that I pursued so many money-making opportunities or ventures to no avail. Why did that happen? Mr. B, tell them the things that you didn't like about, I didn't like about you.
okay. It has to be recognized. The way I see it is, I gave you all the things, some of the things that I really did like and adore and love. That's a phase. There came another phase in our life that brought about this part of my conversation, because the first part was genuine. I mean, memories that I always think of and wonder where would it have gone if. But anyway, the dislikes came through phase two, which is,
we're gonna go there. Just hit that. We're gonna
okay.
go.
I was very aggressive, my patience was thin. I'm not making excuses saying that I was raised with six brothers.
Okay, I need you to do this for me. Just hit the three, and then we're gonna go into the whys. There's
Okay.
a method to the madness.
Okay. Being passive and aggressive, not being aware of it, because like it said, not being aware of it. This is a way that I was raised, the way that I lived. I wasn't being considerate of marriage and what goes into the marriage. So my aggression took place because I never took time to just really ask or say anything or observe and read and study what I'm supposed to do. My second phase of dislikes, I didn't support her in a lot of things. Through the hurt, I developed things about me that really gave me a bad posture of not supporting her, not being there when she needed me. And because of that, it was like a cancer. It started growing and it got worse and worse. And my selfishness that took place had a lot to do with it, because I had a bitterness and anger within me that I was unaware of in one sense, but aware of because I allowed it to happen. If you understand what I'm saying, so I'm not making an excuse for that. When something happened, number three, if something happened, I held it against her very much, like unforgiving and hard. How you say, a hardened heart, basically, is what it was. The love and everything kind of like got tainted very bad. And there's a reason for that. The why definitely comes into play for all three of these, because this wasn't the same person that she married. I wasn't. But some of it was, but it came out when things occurred. It was pulled out. which was good. We almost had love at first sight, and I didn't really know much about her that I should have known. Like some people go through marriage counseling, we didn't do it. We really loved each other, and we grabbed hold and went from there. And we learned as we went. So some of these things was exposed as we grew.
Awesome. Okay, did y'all hear that? So what I need from you, I'm going to go back through these. That's why I want him to just hit those 3, because I'm going to go through some things before we end this call. So I need you to write down the things that you like about each other and 3 things that you just dislike about each other. Okay. And you'll get more detail in the book because we only had 30 minutes. We would have had to take a week to tell y'all about this. So now here's my question. I'll go over them in case you didn't remember them. He was able to say that he liked that I was a good cook and a good mother, awesome choir singer, and we did everything together. I was able to say that he was a good husband, great provider, funny laugh, detailed in everything, embraced my family as if they were his, and we always dressed alike. Those were things that we really admired about each other, okay? And they were real, like he said. Now, the things that we dislike about each other came later on, but let's talk about this. Now, what happened? It really is not important because I want to show you. I have to show you where you can come from a bondage to freedom today. And I can't show you that if I tell you about my issue and what he did to me. Who cares? Okay. I want to show you how you can go from bondage to freedom. Now, I lost trust. He didn't like that I lost trust in his leadership. Why? We don't know all the details, but one thing is I wasn't aware. But did he tell me this at the time? No. Did we ever talk about this? No. He didn't like the fact I accused him of cheating. Did he tell me he wasn't and prove to me that he wasn't or talk about this? Girl, is you crazy? No, we didn't talk. I pursued too many money-making opportunities. Did he say, well, girl, we need to talk because this ain't hitting on nothing. And did we sit down and talk about? No. He was passive aggressive, doing whatever. Was he aware that he was being passive aggressive toward me? Probably not. He didn't really stand up for me, in my opinion. I didn't feel secure and protected. But did I ever tell him this and why I felt this way? No. He was unforgiving. Did he ever tell me that? I'm sorry. He was unforgiving, held grudges. Did he ever sit down and say, well, look, I'm mad because of this or this going on or this is the way I feel? No. So what do you see here? The last 6 episodes is the exact same problem that we had. Lack of communication, period. Had we sit down and talk to each other about some of these things, I'm just keeping it real, would it have made a difference, Mr. B?
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
That's a major connection.
That is the foundation of every relationship. It is communication.
Absolutely.
It is communication. Okay. Now, what brought on our responses is the same thing that brought on yours, guys out there. It's the same thing that's bringing on your response to your wife, to your husband, to your friend, to your sister, to your brother. You are very selfish, as we were thinking about ourselves and how we feel about the situation, whatever it is. The second thing was our pride. I know mine was way up bigger than this room because I'm not going low for nobody. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that if you look at this thing with all sincerity and just keep it real, that's your problem too, my subscribers. That's your problem. That's why you can't get along with your best friend. That's why you can't get along with your husband. That's why you can't get along with your wife, because you're too selfish, because you're too prideful. Yeah. And you're stuck in the bondage of your own head, looking at your past and how you was raised. That don't have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Watch this. I was raised by my parents, both my parents, right? My daddy was a prize fighter before he was a preacher. And he had one ideology. This is, you lose a fight, I'm going to beat your ass. That's what he said. If you lose a fight. So I was reared with 4 brothers, me being the only girl, my sister, who is my cousin, she wasn't home at the time. She was in California, is in California. I was reared with 4 brothers, right? I wasn't trying to lose no fight, y'all. That was good as a child as a girl, because I needed to know how to protect myself. And nobody was going to beat me up. I needed to know how to protect myself. But as an adult and a married wife, that was not cool. But that's where I was raised. So I brought that with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I brought that with me. So not only was anybody else going to beat me up, but he wasn't going to talk to me wrong either. See, that was out of order. Y'all understand? That was out of order. God has made him the leader. You see, and if he falls, and if he had fallen or failed in some area, I was supposed to let him fall and be there to help him get up. Y'all hear me, ladies? Y'all hear me? But no, we oh no, you this and you that and you this and you ain't. That's the way we do it. Some ladies, y'all with me? So we're going somewhere with this. So you write those things down. So all of these things could have been rectified or avoided with communication. Makes sense? We're just keeping it real, y'all.
That's it.
So you might say, well, what if the person didn't listen? Or what if they didn't receive you? That's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. We're not talking about nobody else. We're talking about us.
Yep.
We're talking about us. We're talking about taking blame. That's what my book is about. Determined to discover why God wastes nothing. In order to deal with your bitterness, the bitterness from the past, in order to come to a place of freedom, you have to voice it, which means say it. You got to own it, admit it. Forget about how it happened, what it happened. What about you? What could you have changed to make it better? Voice it, own it, and resolve it.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. So with that said, where are we today? Oh, Mr. B is married. He's happily married. But I got something to tell y'all. I got something to tell you. Where are we today? Where are we today? We talk about everything. Where are we today? Tell the people where we at today.
Oh, no, we're fine. You know, we with the blessing of having our sons in our life, you know, God did bless us with 5 sons, you know, and thank God they're doing pretty good, you know.
Absolutely. Where are we today? We talk about our children. We talk about our grandchildren. We talk about devotions. We talk about
Christianity a lot.
We talk about everything. We talk about everything.
That's one of our main topics.
Exactly. Exactly.
What God is doing and has done for us.
Absolutely.
We pray for each other, pray for our families, pray for the nation, you know, the world even.
Absolutely.
You know, the trip that she made to Africa, she expresses that to me, what she went through. I thought it inside, I thought it as being dangerous, but because of who she's doing it for, I knew she was protected, you know. So I pray for protection for her when she makes these trips, because I know some parts of Africa, how they treat the women, you know, but at the same time, she's doing God's work. And when she's doing God's work, God got it. That's the bottom line, period. Amen. That's just like what we're doing for you all right now. We're here to try to get you all the message to open up to each other, to hopefully help you all's marriage and hope maybe future marriages even, or your kids' marriages, translate to them what you have gone through. So hopefully it'll help them, because they will go through something. Nobody's going to be exempt from difficulties and unexpected things that's going to happen in a marriage, because that's the way it goes. Communication, being real, being honest, just laugh and talk and enjoy life together, because it's a good life. It's a great life. God puts his approval on marriage.
Amen.
You know, man that has a good wife has a good thing. Amen. Y'all remember that?
Amen. Awesome. Awesome. So in essence, where are we today? We talk about everything, and we are actually free to make better choices to move to the next level, the next chapters in our lives, the next seasons of our lives. We're free to help others do the same. I need you all to go to the link and pre-order your book, Determined to Discover Why, From Bondage to Freedom. God doesn't waste anything. All those people you're trying to get out of your life, they're there for a reason. because they're there to help you become a better you. And with that said, this is DTM Real Talk. And we're just doing what? Keeping it.
We're gonna keeping it real. And on an exit note for you all, remember, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Awesome. See you next time. Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.